this group back together. I am more than thrilled with the number of people that are here. It's a testament to each of you, to your institutions that represent you. That I know it's not a cheap trip, but we're so excited that you're with us today. We got a full slate that we'll start with it this morning and then move into, after lunch this afternoon, we'll move into our programming for the day. But I just want to say, again, how excited I am to be back with you guys face to face. It's been a long time coming. Just a reminder, I don't think I have to tell you guys this, but if you have your cell phones with you, which I'm confident you do, make sure that it's silent. Don't want to interrupt anyone during the day. There will be time for questions throughout the day, so we set up a microphone here, we have the mics up here. We have a great panels coming this afternoon. So for those of you in the back, this is not a closed session to NAIA. We don't work that way in the COSIDA, so there's probably going to be some standing room only for some of our panels later on today. We have 4 seats right here reserved, but other than that, there's chairs up front. I just want to make sure that if you want to move up right after lunch, I encourage you to do so. The other thing that we normally do, for those of you who are veterans of this, we normally are able to lock the doors during lunch. That will not be the case this year, so make sure you take your belongings with you and obviously come back and be with us later this afternoon. We're going to start this morning with welcoming our friends from COSIDA, our dignitaries. We have such a great relationship with the leaders of COSIDA, and we're excited that they were able to join us here this morning. I'll let them introduce themselves. I won't do that. We're going to start with our past president, who I will introduce, and our past president of COSIDA, Sam Matthews. Please welcome.
Thanks, Boomer. It's great to be here. I am not Cindy Potter. I know how much this moment would have meant for Cindy to be here to address you all as a current president of COSIDA, but she's on another panel right now. So, but even for myself, the NAIA has been a great friend to me. I have a lot of great friends in this room. Being a college division person myself at a Division III school at Gallaudet, I get where you guys are coming from. I'm a one-person shop myself, but I hope you guys are having a great week so far here at COSIDA. It's great to be back face-to-face. It's been too long for sure, as Chris alluded to, and appreciate Chris and his leadership guiding NAIA SIDA. Look forward to Donnie's leadership coming up in the future, with Donnie joining us on the Executive Board of Directors for COSIDA, so the NAIA will still be well represented at the national level, so appreciate your service, Donnie and Chris, and looking forward to it. It's an exciting time for COSIDA right now. I mean, we mentioned it yesterday in the name, image, and membership. A lot of change is coming. We're excited where we're going as an organization, and hopefully you all are all in our new membership approach moving forward in August, and embrace some of these changes coming ahead. But we were looking for your feedback as we move forward as an organization. Everybody's voice is important to us. And an important voice to us moving forward is our new Executive Director, Eric Christensen. I'll invite him to come up and address you all. So thank you for being here, and great to see everybody here.
Hey, good morning, everybody. It's great to see you all. I really appreciate the chance to come and visit with you for a couple minutes. There's a couple things I want to address right away that you're probably wondering about. You're like, okay, you got the NCAA guy, what about NAIA, right? A couple things I want to address right away. First of all, my undergraduate roots are in the NAIA. I went to Northwestern College in St. Paul, which was NAIA when I was there. It's Division III now, and you know, I'm reflecting on when Cindy took over as membership president, came to the national office, she was the first person that I went up to and I said, listen, I said, we're all in the college sports business, right? It doesn't matter to me if you're here or you're here. There's one thing that we're about, and that's about supporting our student athletes and supporting college sports within higher education. And so that's my pledge to everyone here. I really look forward to working with you. Donnie, look forward to working with you, particularly on the board. And I got a chance to visit with Jim last night after the awards reception. We had a nice visit. We've been in a few meetings back in the day on certain things, and so we had a nice visit as well, and I'm hoping to come out and visit with him and his team at the national office. Sometimes I kind of take a deep breath and get my feet under me, but I really appreciate you being here. It's so great to be together after 3 years. I saw that earlier this year when I was still at the national office, and we held our national convention in January, and there was just that palpable desire that you could really feel, just, it feels a little cliche, and I know that, but it's as true as the day is long, that we are in the relationship business. That's why these meetings are so important, and I'm glad we wanted to come and just take a few minutes and just say hi to you this morning. And so thanks for your time. I look forward to working with everybody. And I'm going to introduce Lori Foley from our team, our Director of Membership Services. Thanks, everybody.
First stop, best stop, am I right? Yeah.
You are correct.
Yes, thank you. So I thank you all for having us. I want to say, first of all, thank you for your fantastic participation and engagement over the last couple of years. It's been difficult, but as I have come to understand, the NAIA members step up. I'm the liaison from our staff to NAIA SIDA, so I am on their calls every month, and you have a well-oiled machine, and they do really great work on your behalf, so you should be very proud of that. I did have to write down some notes so I don't forget what I want to talk to you about. So have you heard about All In? I hope you have. So NAIA rates beginning in August are $350 for everybody you want to include. And I know some of you don't have an everybody you want to include, but I would challenge you to be creative. I know you have student workers. I know you have student athletes who come and work your games and do stats for you. They may be interested in this profession. They may want to learn more about this profession. I challenge you to reward them. Hey, if you come work stats for me as a student, you'll get this COSIDA membership, right? So think about students. That is, we've talked a lot about creators and bringing them into our fold. We are just as excited about the potential for students, undergraduate students, interns, maybe in your case, your campus communications person, if you're in campus communications or you work very closely with them, your marketers, everybody, anybody, your AD, right? We have ADs who started in communications. They may want to get an email blast from us every once in a while. So reward your students, encourage any student athletes who might be interested by putting them on your membership. And I know an NAIA membership, Chris and I still have to work out the details of that, but that may be in addition to what you pay, and we'll figure that out, so we'll communicate that. Getting involved in COSIDA. You know this already. We have committees, we have leadership opportunities, we have professional development, we have networking, we have advocacy, honors, recognition for our members. But we listen to you. So we are always looking for your input and your feedback, surveys, email, call me, right? That's what I'm here for. That's what we're here for as a staff. So tell us what you want, what will help you grow and learn. And if you don't see it on our website or you haven't heard of it as an opportunity, then let us know, because we're not, we can invent something on the spot, right? So if you see something or you think of something, an area that you want to be involved in, let us know. That's all I've got. I'm going to turn it over to my two-time boss, Doug Vance, who is, this is a farewell tour, so be nice. Doug, thank you.
Okay, I guess I'm ready to clean up with this group, and so my job is to drive it all home. The message I want to leave with you is about how COSIDA is moving forward. This year, we adopted a new membership model, as you've heard about. We're adopting a new name, a new logo. We hired a new executive director. And it's all come under the leadership of our first NAIA president of this organization. Those are all very positive things. We are getting stronger. We are changing. There are more changes ahead. That's what college athletics is all about right now, change. And there's change in this organization. And it's all being done for the benefit of our membership. I want to congratulate Donnie on joining next year's executive board. We'll have 8 board members, 2 of them from NAIA. So you will be well represented. And finally, I just want to say thanks to all of you for supporting the organization, for supporting me, and please keep it okay. Thank you, guys.
Before they leave, I just want to say a couple of things about COSIDA, because they were getting ready to sneak out and make me stop. Lori is on every NAI SIDA business call that we have each month, and she is fantastic to work with. When you come to these conventions or you think about COSIDA, if you have any issues whatsoever, she's our conduit. She's the person that we go through to talk to our friends at COSIDA, and she does an amazing job representing us in those executive board meetings. And I just want to say that, Lori, thank you so much for all that you have done for NAI, SIDA, NAI, SIDs. We're so proud to have you part of our team. So I wanted to make sure that I said that. Eric, welcome. We're so excited about working with you. As far as Sam goes, my heart breaks for Sam. Sam has become a dear friend over the last several years, mainly because of Cindy. And my heart breaks that Cindy's not here right now. But Cindy introduced me to Sam, and it just breaks my heart that during his presidency we didn't get to have one of these. And despite that, he was an incredible COSIDA president. And Sam, thank you so much for your leadership. Thanks, Eric. Doug, we're gonna miss you. We know that Eric is going to lead our profession. He's in great hands, but we're certainly going to miss you. You've always been a friend of NAI and NAI SIDA, so we love you. We wish you nothing but the best in your retirement, and thank you so much. If you would come up here for just a moment, we've got just a little something for you. This is just a small token to Doug for his leadership and his friendship with NAI SIDA. It reads, "Our deepest appreciation to Doug Vance for his exceptional leadership and commitment to COSIDA and NAI SIDA. Thank you for your service." And to our COSIDA folks, have a great day. At other divisional days, just remember that this first one was the best. All right. We will take breaks through the day, but we're on such kind of a time crunch this morning that if you need to get up and excuse yourself for a moment, that's perfectly acceptable. We understand that. But we'll take more breaks in the afternoon. We're going to go forward this morning. Marilyn? There she is. Oh, Marilyn Cox, come on up. So, as you know, Marilyn took the presidency of Presto, what was it, 100 days ago, something like that? There you go. I've had a great pleasure of working with Marilyn, not only from my role as NAI SIDA president, but also we're a customer of Presto at Lindsey Wilson College and the Mid-South Conference. And Marilyn came to a convention in Kansas City in April, and she stood in the line of a lot of bullets. There was a lot of bullets flying at her, and she took every one of them. I think that we've seen the growth of Presto over the last 2-3 months, more so than we did through the first 9 months that we were partners with them. And I think it's going to get better. No, I know it's going to get better. And under her leadership, it will do just that. So while you may have an experience that was not pleasurable to start with, it's getting better, and it will continue to get better. And I encourage you to go in things with an open mind, open heart, and I want to welcome Marilyn Cox for Presto Sports.
Good morning. Good news, I do not expect a standing ovation, so you guys are good. Stay seated, be comfortable. I I know you probably actually have a lot of questions. So here is how we were going to approach this morning, especially knowing a very, very full agenda. I'm going to just take a few minutes to reiterate our message that we've been delivering over the last couple of months, because some of you I had the opportunity to speak with at the convention back in April. Some of you I know were able to participate in the town hall that we had a couple of weeks ago. And for some of you, this might be your first time hearing from me. And so I find that it takes, what, I think they say 6 times to deliver a message before it sinks in. So I'm going to use that opportunity, this opportunity, to reiterate again a lot of what you've heard. And then what I would ask is, please stop by our booth later today. And if you want to have one-on-one conversations, if you have specific questions, we have a team of people here that are happy to answer those. I'm here until my red-eye tomorrow night as well. So if you want to sit down and have any one-on-one conversations with me, please know that I'm accessible and happy to have those discussions. As Chris alluded to, I did step into the role of Presto Sports president back at the beginning of March. Many of you probably worked with Keith Womack in the past, and he was the president over the last 3.5 years, and really kind of defining the vision and in the direction that he wanted to take Presto. And then now we're at a point where it's time to refine a lot of that. So a lot of the feedback that I've heard from all of you is we have failed in our ability to deliver what was promised, in delivering dependable technology, in delivering a support experience that you need to be successful in your role. And so I want to lead off, of course, with apologizing for the fact that we have failed. So there's no excuse for it. In my conversations, I want to make sure that's very clear. I'm not here to rationalize or justify the experience that you've had. We recognize the leadership team that's in place right now recognizes that this isn't what we want to deliver to each and every one of you. So the way that we're approaching our turnaround at Presto Sports is really thinking about it in 3 different categories. So it's people, process, and technology. And that's how we're bucketing our efforts. So in terms of people, we have made some changes to our leadership organization in order to bring new ideas and bring new approaches to our business. We had a new support manager start last week. His name is Renee Valenzuela. I'm already encouraged, like 6 days into the role, what he's doing to make improvements, and we'll talk about that here in a second when we discuss process. We're also bringing in a new implementation manager, Bethany Spade. Bethany is going to start transitioning into that role here over the next several weeks through the month of July. I've had the opportunity of working with Bethany in the past. She's coming to us from one of our sister companies within the holding company. So she actually worked with our Club Essential business and helping them turn around their implementation process. So she's lived it, experienced it, and proved that she can do it. And I'm really excited to see what she's going to bring to Presto to help make that a better experience for all of you. And then, of course, this leadership team that we're putting in place has to influence what, in full transparency, has become probably a rather complacent culture at Presto Sports. So I think that people became very comfortable and accepting of the fact that it is the way it is. You've had the chance to talk with Josh Fowler. He's our VP of Engineering. We've had, as you are, I'm sure, very aware of the fact that we've had some system issues, some lag issues. And when we've reached out to people that have worked on the product in the past, the response has been, yeah, it just happens sometimes. And Josh's approach to it is that's just, I can't function that way. So we're really working to make sure that across the board at Presto Sports, we're all aligned and we understand what we need to do to become a better company for all of you. So that's the people aspect of it. The process is what these people are really working to influence. So I'll start with support. If you look at the way that our support process currently functions, on our support webpage, we've got like 9 different avenues to get you to a single point of contact. Sometimes it's the exact same email address that's going to get you there, which is a little confusing. If you call our support line, it'll tell you if you have a question about your website, press 1. If you have a question about streaming, press 2. And if you're a stats, mobile app, digital ticketing, fundraising customer, you're going, so who do I call? We just have not pivoted and adjusted and grown to support our growth and our new solutions, as well as the needs of each and every one of you and what the market is currently demanding. We have not had a process in place to triage VIP clients, for example. So to us, our NAIA customers are VIP clients. And when you have a support issue, we want to make sure that we're addressing your issue first. Right now, what we've asked, so for temporarily, if you have a need, if you have an issue, just make sure you include NAIA in the subject line of your support request. But we are building in an automated process that tags you guys as NAIA customers so we can address it more immediately. If you are in the middle of trying to stream something because you are at an event or you're trying to stat an event, it's not acceptable for you to go into a queue and us to circle back with you in 3 to 4 weeks. So these are all things right now that we're working on. And again, these are very simple improvements that can be done through automation. So what you'll probably see here over the next couple of weeks is a shift away from submitting support cases through an email address. We'll still make sure that the phone system is accessible to you, but what we're going to have is a form with drop downs that's going to allow you to say, this is an urgent need, this is related to an event that's currently happening today, this is the division that I'm a part of, and this is going to allow us to address your support cases in a more immediate way. Same thing with implementation. Right now, because we've been absent an implementation manager and we were absent a support manager for a few weeks, I got to be those people, which is painful, but that's the best way to learn. And to see that it takes, even to initiate a project for you, I have to log into 5 different systems to simply initiate a project. If you guys need a new website or a redesign or need help with stats, I think a lot of times what happens is with the best of intentions, people tend to over complicate things, and that's what's happened. And because of that, it's made it very difficult for us to not only support you, but to collaborate with you on work required, scoping out your needs when you have something, the time that is required to accomplish that, and then understand the deadline and timeframes that you're working against. These are just conversations that haven't happened in the past, and these are all things that we're going to be doing moving forward. And then in terms of process, you'll find when you stop by our booth, we have a customer success team now in place. And if you've had a chance to work with Kayla Mount, Kayla is our VP of Client Success. She came over to us with the Superfan acquisition back in September. And we recognize that you're going to have 2 different needs. You have support needs, and these are the guys that you and gals that you go to when you have an urgent need, when something's broken. But if you have questions about your contract, about billing, about what a redesign entails, about new solutions, if you have feedback on bugs or fixes that you need, the support team isn't who you really want to be going to. It's our client success team. And so working with Kayla, that's another process that we're improving, is we're making sure that you're having conversations with the right individuals depending on what your needs are. And then lastly is the technology piece. And if you haven't had a chance to watch the recording from the town hall, I highly encourage you to do that, especially because I'm not a developer or an engineer, and you don't want me trying to rehash everything that Josh shared. But what I will say is that there are some key areas that we're working on right now when it comes to our technology. The first is making sure, and this is hands down priority number 1 for us, especially here during the summer months, that you have a reliable, dependable solution in which you are operating your organization. We have had system and lag issues. Again, I'm all about transparency. I'm just going to be very clear about that. I am kind of over the let's try to make it sound better than it is. What has caused our lag issues is the fact that we have ingested a ton of data as we've taken on NAIA stats work, which is great. Now, that's something that probably should have been scoped and identified before we started doing that, but we've taken on a lot of data and a lot of information. That alone isn't really the issue. It's the fact that when we do what is called like a mass deletion, it causes our systems to spin and crash and then causes these delays. This is an internal system, internal process issue. We had conversations with our internal teams about, guys, please don't do mass deletions, and it was still happening. So engineering created a fail-safe, which says no one now can mass delete anything. But here's, you guys will love this. I mean, I'm just wanted to laugh about it. So here's what happened with the most recent lag issue we had a couple weeks ago. That fail-safe had been created. Our head of engineering went on vacation. He was out kayaking. Somebody went in and did a mass deletion because they hadn't set it live. They were going to set it live the following day. So poor Josh on his kayak trip had to come back and deploy it. So that is our short-term solution for how we're fixing the system issues that you guys have experienced. Long-term, it's us going in and it's cleaning up a lot of our data. And so we're doing that season by season. This is something that we're working with the NAIA team on to make sure that we're communicating and getting ahead of that, and that we're not losing any customization within the systems that you guys are currently operating. So reliability is priority number one for us, and will continue to be, especially here during the summer as we clean things up. The other area that we're really focusing on is figuring out and better integrating all of our technology together. So we've made these acquisitions and it's really great, but like it doesn't do anyone any good if you're logging into 5 different tools. And so making sure that these systems that you all have invested in are really working to scale with you through automation is 100% the other area that we're focusing on. So we want to make sure that we're delivering a better experience for you. That could be through integration. If you saw the town hall, it could be through the user management and providing you all greater accessibility and control and power over your sites. And also through improving the user interface. So making sure that what you're working with is more modern, it's easier, it's more intuitive. So I'll kind of leave it there. Just know that people, process, technology, that's where we're focused. These are the steps that we're taking. And again, I invite any questions that you have at our booth later on. And again, I'm here over the next couple of days to have any one-on-one conversations with all of you. Did I keep it under 10?
You're good.
Awesome. Great. And without PowerPoint slides. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, so our next topic on our agenda is the business meeting. I want to welcome everyone to the 2022 NAIA SIDA business meeting. Fortunately for you, this will be the last time you have to listen to me talk today. The rest of the day, I'll turn it over to my good friend and the leader of this programming, Donnie Smith. And I want to congratulate and thank the programming committee for putting together a terrific program for us here today. Before we get to the business at hand, I want to thank the 2021-22 NAIA SIDA board for their diligence, for their servant leadership, for everything that they did throughout the year. We have 3 members that technically are rolling off, although one of them is rolling back on. And I just want to publicly thank Ron Smith from Westmont. Ron, thank you so much for your leadership. I asked Ron several years ago, hey, I want you to get back involved with NAIA SIDA. And he looked at me like, are you sure you want me to? Yes, I do. I want you to get back involved. And he's done an unbelievable job over the last 3 years serving as our second VP. So I want to thank Ron Smith. I also want to thank Sammy Wellman, who just stepped in and said, where do you need me? What can I do? And we said, okay, since you asked, we want you to lead the publications committee. No, no, she didn't say that. She said, absolutely, I'm happy to do it. And of our committees, that one is probably, although it is not a year-long thing, is that fair? It's not a year-long thing. Boy, when it hits, it's like crossover season times 10. So Sammy, thank you so much. We're going to miss you, but thank you for your service to our committee. Let's give Sammy a round. And Tommy Jasnoff, Tommy has led our stats committee as an at-large rep for a number of years, four years. And wow, what a job he has done bringing that. At one time, when I was an at-large, I was leader of that committee, and Tommy just took it and just went bam. I mean, he did an unbelievable job. We're going to miss him in stats. I know his committee members are going to miss him, but we're so excited that Tommy's going to be part of our 2022-23 board as our second VP going forward. And Tommy, thank you for your service in stats. This is the time where I encourage everyone in the room and anyone listening out there to get involved. And we had several people put their names forward for at-larges. Obviously, there's only a few people who get elected to those, and I want to thank those people who said, hey, I want to serve. I just encourage you to continue with that mentality. When you get on your campus and you have all that you're doing, especially for one-man, one-woman shops, it can be difficult to want to do more. It's not a massive commitment, but your time management as sports information directors or sports communicators, you have great time management. You have to, especially at the NAIA level. And this could just be something else that you can serve our organization, and I encourage you to continue to put your name forward to be on our board. At this time, this is a tradition that we started a number of years ago, and it's something that I love because there are some faces out here, I don't know who you are, and that's really sad for me, but I'm getting ready to meet you. So we're going to pass the mic around. Donnie, can you give the mic to Brad, let him start, even though I think we all know Brad. We're going to pass the mic around. I want you to introduce yourself. Tell me your name, the school you're from. If you could say how long you've been in the profession, and maybe how many conventions you've been to. So 4 things: name, organization, how many years you've been in the profession, and how many years you've been here to the convention. And I know we'll tell you again here in a few minutes, Matt. So.
Brad Segan, NAIA National Office. This is my 12th, 13th convention that I've been part of. I was full membership at Missouri Baptist, and this is my favorite event of the year. This might be my favorite point of this meeting. But thanks to Chris and all his leadership, and thank you guys. Sorry. Next.
Jay Stansel, Union College, and with the Appalachian Athletic Conference. 23 years in the profession. This is probably, I lost count, maybe my 15th, 16th, SIDA. I'm the old part, so anyway.
And Jay's a former president of this organization, and the reason I'm standing here right now, because Jay made me volunteer. Go ahead.
I'm Christopher Ntopa. I'm the SID at Montreat College. I've been in the profession for the last 5 years, and this is my second.
I am Christian Zylstra. I'm Assistant Sports Information Director at Montreat College. Finishing my first year, so first convention.
I'm Cody Frierson from Columbia International University, doing my 4th year as the SID there, 6th year overall, and this is my first year at SID Convention.
What's up, everybody? My name is Jeff Mountain. I am at the national office now. This is my 8th year in the profession and 4th convention, I think.
Good morning, Tyler Price, Assistant Commissioner in the Conference SID at the Heart of America Athletic Conference. Year 14 in the profession, this is my 10th convention.
I am Katie Green, working in the NAIA National Office. I've been in the business for around 10 years, and I think this is probably around my 5th convention.
Seth Askelson, the Sports Information Director at Embry-Riddle in Arizona, third year in the profession and first convention.
Andrew Mitchell with UC Merced. I've been in the profession for 5 years, and this is my second coach.
And this is my fifth.
I'm Cassie Butcher. I'm with Point University. This is my third year in the profession and first for SIDA.
Matthew Higgs, I'm the Associate Commissioner with the SSAC, 16 years in the profession and maybe 9th convention.
Billy Mangum, Life University. This is my 6th. We counting graduate assistant years?
Sure, absolutely.
Maybe 7 or 8, and it's somewhere in there. This is my 2nd convention.
Kamal Petro, Loyola, New Orleans, 3rd year in the business, first convention.
Ryan Barnett, I'm with Menlo College, 5th year in the profession and first convention.
Justin Burtis, Vanderbilt University, 4th year in the profession, first SIDA.
Mike Villamore, I'm the Assistant AD at Vanguard University. It's my 26th year in the profession, first with Vanguard, and this is my 5th convention.
Paige Salvier, National Office, NAIA. I don't know how many years I've been in the profession. I'm really old. And I think 4th and 5th convention.
David Tolley from Kansas Wesleyan, still cool. 20th year in the profession, second convention.
I'm Jacob Norling. I'm Ross Smith's assistant at Westmont College, and this is my 2nd year in the profession, my first SIDA convention.
Good morning. My name is Alana Scott, 17 in the profession, first year in SIDA, and I'm at University.
I'm Michael Pagano, at the University of Pikeville. I'll be moving over to Thomas More in a couple of weeks, and this is just finished up my 3rd year, so I'll be moving to my 4th, and this is my first convention.
Hello, I'm Allie Saltabell. I've been in the profession for about 6 months now, and I'm from Menlo College, and this is my first convention.
Henry Zatterine, 8 months, not years, months, in the profession from Menlo College, like I said, and it's my first convention.
My name is Ian Allison. This is my 3rd month here. I'm from Oklahoma Panhandle State University, and this is my first convention.
Thomas Chasnoff, University of Cumberland. This is my 7th year in the profession, my 5th convention.
Ryan Rumford from Wharton University, 22nd year in the profession and 3rd convention.
Hello everyone, I'm Samantha Holcomb. I'm the student athlete rep for the NAIA. I've been in the profession 2 years as a graduate assistant at Southeastern under Donnie Smith, and this is my first convention.
Hello everybody, I'm Jonathan Pleasant, Irvine, California, Westwood University. This is my 2nd year in the profession. First SIDA, I'm also the assistant major women's basketball coach at Westwood. So nice to meet you all. Glad to be here.
Chase Dodge at Westlake University in SoCal, California. This is officially my 3rd year in the profession, but unofficially I like to claim my work as a student worker. So unofficially, like 7 years.
My name is Will Smith, also from Westcliff. This is literally my 10th day in this profession. That would be a good idea. Try to get my feet wet now, and been enjoying it ever since. Thank you, practice.
Kyle Taylor, just finished my 6th year at Langston University, and this is my 2nd time at the site.
Rich Tortorelli, Oklahoma City University. It's been 17 years there, and I'm also with the Senior Athletic Office.
Clayton Messerly, just finished my first year in the profession at Warren Pacific University, but I just accepted an offer to become the Director of Athletic Communications at Oregon University in Salem, Oregon, and first semester.
Hi, I'm Alicia Alexander, Manson Elite for sure. This is not official yet. My first anniversary was yesterday, so sorry. This is my first convention. I'm at Lewis Clark State College, and I've been in business for about 6 years for County GA.
I'm Kelsey Segan. I'm my first year at Divisional University, but I've been in profession for 3 years, and this is my first convention.
Big Askew, Bushnell University, 21st year in business, 16th at Bushnell, about my 5th convention.
Angelo Pontelmo from Thomas University, just completed my 2nd year as the head of the Athletic Communications Department for County GA. Been in the profession for 6 years for County Student Work, been about in for 10 years. And, sorry, what's my train of thought? What was the last question again?
How many years you been here?
Oh, how many years? This will be my 5th convention.
Hi, my name is Amber Coleman. I'm an upcoming junior, also a student athlete. I'm a student assistant at Thomas University, and this is my 4th year as the student assistant, and this is my first convention.
My name is Abby Schultz. I'm at Indiana Wesleyan University. Just finished my first year, first convention.
Andy Pulverenti with Missouri Valley College, been at college for 10 years, this is my first convention.
Jesse Campbell with Cornerstone University, now student worker in GA. It's 8 years, full-time 4, 7th convention.
Jeff Braun, Midland University, just wrapped up my 7th year at Midland, and this is my first convention.
Matt Brooks, William Jesse University, 8th year overall in the profession, and first convention.
Hey, Josh Fisher from OUAZ, 15 years in profession and 3rd convention.
I got you, I'll walk.
I got you.
Sorry. Option course.
Corey Graham, Siena Heights University, 8th year overall, 5th year at Siena, 2nd convention.
Donnie Smith, Southeastern University, 9th year in the profession, 9th convention.
I get my own mic. Ron Smith, Westmont College. I'm finishing my 18th year, and if I count the virtual conventions, then this is my 18th convention. Good for you.
As an old part, I just want to say, I'm impressed with this group. My first convention in 05, when got called in at time, it was a room of pretty much old white guys.
We weren't all old.
But
We are now.
We are now. But to see now that, see so much diversity, so much youth, so much in growth, especially now, at that time there were only 2 females at convention. And now, I don't know, to see this group, I'm encouraged and I'm glad to see so many young faces and all, and I want to encourage you to continue being involved and to making our profession better. Appreciate everyone here, especially all the first time. I think we're coming the first time we've been here.
Yeah, thanks, Jay. I was writing them down. We have 26 first timers. That is fantastic. That ranged from 3 days? How many days was it?
10 days.
10 days. 10 days. I started, yeah, here it is. So I started at first year, then I went to 6 months, I think it was over here. Then I went to 3 months, somewhere right here, and then you win. Hope we don't scare you. So we go from 10 days to J. That's impressive. Well, welcome everyone. We're truly excited that you're with us here today. We're going to go very quickly through some things. It's 11:03 now. We got to have you out the door by 11:35. I do want to say that Marilyn, when she talked about the exhibit hall, it will be at the NAIA exhibit hall, and that's at Shoreline. So it's not the one that we've been going to or breakfast was at this morning. So I just want to make sure that clarify that she'll be at the NAIA exhibit hall later this afternoon. Actually, it's tonight. Is it 5 o'clock tonight? Yeah, right after this meeting. Usually it's a sprint for us out of our meeting straight to the exhibit hall because we have so many. So I'm going to just tell you right up front. There's so many things in that room that you can't afford. It's fantastic. So you should just know that right up front. There may be an RV, there may be basketball goals, you're going to statues, inflatable things that barely fit in here.
They've given away a drone before. That's not using it for drones there.
So there's so many things that you can't even begin to afford, but there's also a lot of freebies. So make sure you go through and get your grab bag. Just remember, you got to pack that stuff. It's not always fun. It's the back. One other thing before we get into the business meeting at hand. I mentioned about volunteering for committees. We have committees here at the NAIA side of the level as well. All of our board members are in charge of those committees. They have chairs. We ask you to get involved. And what we're going to do is following this, because we haven't assigned our new board members those committee responsibilities yet. We are going to do that, and then right before the beginning of the year, the academic year, which we don't want to think about right now, but right before we do that, we're going to send out an email to you and ask you to sign up for those committees. The committees are programming, workshop. That's what Donnie and his committee are in charge of this day. And it's a huge undertaking to get people to come here and to be part of presenting things. And Donnie done a great job this year, and he's always looking for great people. I talked about Tommy. He was on stats this past year. And a lot of people tend to gravitate towards stats. Oh, I'm an SID. I'm sure I'll be on the staff committee. It's a great committee. It's an important committee, but that's the most popular committee. Tommy sometimes would get 25 people to one, maybe exaggerate a little bit, but it's pretty close. Pretty close. That's exactly right. So we don't want to discourage you from signing up for stats, but just know that that's our most popular one, and it's probably the one that is in, I don't want to say the best position, but with all the people that volunteer for it, it certainly has, it's in good shape. Let me put it that way. Our publications committee that Sammy led this past year, that's the one that we probably need the most people. We have probably the fewest people to sign up for that. So again, it's not a year-long thing. It's more at the end of the year, and it's judging. It's not just, you're not just judging. You're doing a lot. Sandy, why don't you stand up real quick and tell people? Can we get Sandy a mic? Yeah, right here. Because I want to make sure everyone out there and everyone in here knows exactly what it takes, and there's no one better to tell than Sandy.
Okay, so each committee member is in charge of a contest or two, or sometimes three, depending on how many people we have. I try to keep it low, just because I know you guys have a lot of other stuff going on. But if you've entered the contest before, you know the deadline is May 1st, and leading up to that, you're getting in some publications in contests, and I try, as a board, I was trying to file them into their rightful contest. So each person that is on the committee then is in charge of finding 3 judges for each contest. And then you go through, the feature stories, game notes, call of the year. We added some motion graphics 2 years ago. So you get to go through all this stuff. We have judging forms, and then that person then compiles all the judges' scores and sends me the top 10 if there's more than 11, and then top 5 if there's only 10 entries. And then what I do is then I compile it for the NAIA, and then I figure finding the judges, and they don't have to be like NAIA people, they don't even have to be SADs. I mean, my dad has been a judge because he used to be in publications, so you can find other people to do it. So I would recommend getting involved. It's really, like I said, it's not, you're not doing a whole lot during the year, it all comes down at the end, but then you're done. And that's it.
Thanks, Sam. So yeah, I strongly encourage those of you who are looking for a committee to volunteer for that committee. Continuing education. We didn't have a great deal of content for continuing ed this year, but we're confident we're going to do going forward that we're going to have that. Those are the things that it's kind of like what we're doing today. And then what we will do, except it'll be through Zoom and things like that through the year. We're going to do probably one every other month, something along those lines. So that is something that is important. I would also recommend that if you are part of the continuing ed committee, that you maybe even think about volunteering for COSIDA programming committee. And they kind of go hand in hand. So that's something that I've been a part of, the COSIDA programming committee in years past. I kind of stepped away from it during this presidency, but I'm eager to get back to it so that we can have a NAIA voice on what's going on outside of these doors. And then the last one is our branding committee. In the past, we've had things like Players of the Week. That got a little bit hard to do going forward because it takes some time to kind of put all those plays together. But the branding committee does a lot of good things for us. They kind of run our NAIA SIDA channels as far as Twitter and YouTube. We really rely on them to push the message out to you guys as far as things that are going on branding-wise in the NAIA. So those are our 5 committees, and I would really strongly encourage you to step up and be a part of one of those committees. Again, we'll send out an email. It'll probably come from me later in the year, later in the summer, right before the year begins, asking you to sign up for those committees. And you're not required to just pick one. If you are crazy and you want to sign up for 2, then you know what? Have at it. We'd love to have you. Okay, so there's a few things that I'm going to go through them as quickly as possible to try to get us out of the door in the next 25 minutes, but they're important. They're incredibly important, and I want you to be able to ask questions if you have a question. So if you have a question, you can either step up to the mic, raise your hand, we'll pass around the mic or whatever, but I just want to make sure that the people online can hear the question as well. I want to start with National Administrative Council, NAC. Brad will go through in detail some things that is very important for our organization to know that came through NAC. And if you don't know what NAC is, it's basically the governing body. It's the people who coaches will bring forth motions, and the NAC will look at it and they'll vote on it. If it's good for the organization, that's the body that actually approves that. It basically handles, Brad, about everything outside of financial things, right? Pretty much. So that's what the NAC does. As an NAIA SIDA president, the president gets a chair on NAC. One person from this organization, NAIA SIDA, which is something that I've been fighting for the last couple of years. I brought it to Brad. I think that was probably my #1 agenda item when I took over as presidency. I said, we have to have a bigger voice at the national level. And chipped away at it a bit. It went to a committee. It went to exec committee. And I am incredibly proud to say that we now have 3 members from NAIA SIDA who will serve on NAC. Great job. So when we put the proposal forward at NAC, the proposal was for the president, who's already serving on NAC, the past president, and the second VP to serve on NAC. And the reason we skipped first VP, which is Donnie's role right now, is because this day, they have to plan for NAIA SIDA Divisional Day, which they work with COSIDA, and it's a huge undertaking. But they're also our rep for ASA, Association of Student Athletes. And so asking them to take on another committee is just a little bit more than I was comfortable with. So that was the plan. Cindy Potter messed that plan up. Cindy was elected as her conference rep to NAC. So we didn't want to give back one of those spots. So Donnie has agreed for 1 year in his capacity, even though he's doing everything else on top of which being an at-large rep for SIDA. He's going to step in and be a member of our NAC as well. So Donnie will be on ratings and postseason selection. That's what they talk about. I should let you know that NAC has athletic directors, conference commissioners, there's an athletic trainer, there's an FAR, who am I missing? Besides that's pretty much it. But anyway, that's what that body is made up of. There's 40, 38, 40? Max of 40. Yeah, max of 40 individuals. As you can tell, I use Brad a lot with that. There's a max of 40 people in the room that makes those decisions. And again, we now have 4 people from this organization in that. So Donnie will serve on ratings and postseason selection. Tommy, as our second VP, just newly elected second VP, following this meeting, he will be on our championships. So all things championships, whatever's going on, that's what that committee discusses. And my role is with rules, awards, and statistics. That's where the NAIA SIDA president has always been. So those are the three positions that we will represent as NAIA SIDA reps on NAC. So I know we have a lot of new faces. We have a lot of turnover through the years. I can't tell you how huge this is for us. How huge it is for the NAIA SIDA president, because, and here's the reason, there may be something that is talked about in ratings and postseason, or talked about in championships, or talked about in enhancement, and it'll come to full body, and they'll say, okay, well, this is what we're talking about. And as the only SID rep on there, the NAIA SIDA president will go, hey, did you think of this from our standpoint? And sometimes, yeah, we talked about that. Sometimes they say, well, no, we didn't. Well, if we have somebody in the room of that committee, they can talk about it. So I think it's going to really help our organization just to kind of get that voice out there. So again, I'm incredibly proud. I'm sure you can see how excited I am about the fact that we got that done. Is there any questions about NAC? And Brad will go over more of NAC during the NAI report. Okay, good deal. Constitutional changes. Can you put that up on the screen for me, Don? Okay, so many of you, all of you, most of you, probably not Mr. Ken Day right there, but most of you, if you're a head SID, gets to talk or gets my emails on voting. We had to vote. What does that mean? Well, basically, it's in our bylaws in NAIA SIDA that all voting takes place here this day. We put forth a vote so we could vote on these things. It passed, as you know, and then these things came up. I think the first one is, yeah, what's your real quick?
Motion 1 was eliminate language specifying that elections of both officers and at-large board positions must take place at the annual business meeting.
So this passed with almost 91%, as you can see. This was huge for us because this business meeting has always been about an hour long, and sometimes it went longer than an hour long because we couldn't elect our board members. Now we can outside of this meeting, and we can talk about things other than who are the election, who we're going to elect. We sent people out the room, especially since we have 26 newbies. I'm just going to quickly tell you, I nominate so-and-so. All these people go out of the room, and then we start voting. And it became a mind-numbing experience for everybody in the room. And you can see the veterans, Rich back there. I mean, you can see, and that's exactly right. So this was a good thing. So it passed with nearly 91%, and so that's the reason that we did that. Let's go to the second one.
Removal of the treasurer position.
So my predecessor, Aaron Saygraves, from Cornerstone, put this in during moment of where we're looking to raise money for NAIA SIDA. And it was a great thing. I think our board accepted it 100%. You guys voted on it. Not you guys, but you guys basically voted on it, or your predecessors voted on it, and it passed. After about 4 years, am I right? 4 or 5 years of it, and we didn't have anybody, when Wendy Reed rolled out of that position, we didn't really have anybody who says, hey, I want to be the treasurer. And really, truthfully, we were struggling to find something for that person to do. I'm trying to think of the easiest way to say this and the kindest way to say this, but there's not a lot of organizations out there that's going to say, oh yeah, I'll give NAIA SIDA $10,000. Sure, you know, and that's what that person was supposed to do. It's basically a fundraising position. And, you know, that's a 24/7 job, and it was a little bit, when we voted it in, I don't think any of us really realized, you know, what the time commitment it was for that position. So, a lot of reasons that we decided to eliminate it, and it passed. That was our closest vote, correct, Donnie?
Yes.
Absolutely, it was our closest vote, but that's the reason it still passed with nearly 79%. All right, next one.
Motion 3 was to change officer mandatory vote from 2/3 vote to majority of eligible voting members.
This is the one where you just, you know, knock your head against the wall. You send 2 people out of the room, they vote, it's got to be 2/3. They come back in, and it's not even close. So then we're going to have to send them back out of the room again and vote again. Not even close. Send them back out. We're asking people to change their votes just so we can move forward. Or, in what Cindy Potter said to this group during I Pearson a couple days ago, Steve Wilson just said, Cindy can have it. That's not how elections are supposed to go. And so this is something that, again, had a great number of votes, and this was something that was really needed, and we're excited about that. Tommy?
Motion 4, change required vote for at-large board members to majority vote to top vote getter as determined by the number of positions.
So what we did is we send 12 people out of the room, everybody who was nominated for at-large. We got our first vote, or our first one, bring them back in, then we got to send, if we get it on the first try, then we got to send the 11 people back out and re-vote. This is just stopping all that. It's basically whoever our top 2, you get 2 votes in the election, and whoever our top 2 vote getters, they get to be the at-large positions. Donnie?
Motion 5, add new sections in both officers and at-large board selections, Articles 5 and 7, to state that all elected officials must exhaust all options to be present at the annual business meeting.
Yeah, this is just something that we put in there because it's basically something for you to take to your AD. You get elected as part of our board, you go to your AD, hey, it's in our bylaws though, need to be there. Not must, but need. And you know, it's for your benefit, it's for our benefit. We don't want to not have somebody on our board just because they can't be here for one day, because they can be fantastic the other 364 days of the year, and we'll utilize that. But we also want them to be here if at all possible, so that's the reason we put that in. Again, it's not a need, it's exhaust all efforts. Donnie?
Motion 6, remove language to determine that 2 at-large board spots be elected at each NAIA SIDA workshop.
Yeah, so the previous one where we vote outside of this board meeting basically made this one obsolete, so it just made sense to put this one in there and remove that from the bylaws. Is that all? All right, perfect. Any questions about these constitutional votes? I know that I've already, we did a little town hall, we explained it, but I just wanted to reiterate and show you once again that overwhelmingly on every one of them, you voted to do that. So any questions about any of this? All right, good deal. NAIA Scholar Athletes. So here's another one that many of you came to me about, even though I had the same thought. Brad is going to go in detail, so don't ask any questions right now. I'll let Brad take any questions during the NAIA business, or NAIA, whatever, office report. That's what I was trying to say. But I just wanted to tell you kind of the process. As you know, we do NAIA Scholar Athletes at the end of the year now. Brad and his office, or the national office, has to field somewhere in the area of 10 to 12,000 student or scholar athletes at the end of the year. I mean, that's crazy. And then we announce it the next year on September 15th. So you may have a student athlete that's already graduated, who has transferred to your rival, who is no longer part of the team, and the coach does it and left on bad terms. Coach, don't put that player's name in this release with this program. They left. There's a lot of reasons. And it was also confusing because Joey, I don't know why I said Joey, but Joey got the award. Susie didn't. Tell me why. Well, because this is last year's award. So it was a little confusing to explain to moms and dads, at least it was from my standpoint. Moms and dads, and I see some head shaking out there. So it just made sense. There was a 3-year window that we had to go through with this, and we just completed the 3rd year of it. So we brought it forward to our RAS, my committee at NAC. RAS was, I think there was a lot of people on that committee that was excited about the potential change, but there was also some hesitancy. They wanted to know what CFAR is, and that's the Council of Faculty Athletic Reps. They're part of NAC, they're a committee as well, just like we are. And so we took it to CFAR at the convention in April in Kansas City, and they were 100% on board. And that was a huge endorsement, a massive endorsement. Because if CFAR came back and said, nope, we don't like it, since it's academics, it could have been a little bit more difficult for NAC to pass it. So I just wanted to let you know how we went about it as far as putting it towards our committee, and then NAC. It passed, I think it was 35-1 by NAC. So that's exciting. And so for this upcoming year, you're going to have scholar athletes on September 15th from 21-22. And then we will have scholar athletes from the fall at the dates that Brad will discuss here shortly. So before I left for convention, I did 132 scholar athletes for Lindsey Wilson. Now, going forward, I only have to worry about fall and fall, winter and winter, and spring. So I think it's a good thing, and we heard your so yeah, we're excited. Again, more to come from Brad during his report. Okay, our 2022-23 board was voted on prior to arriving. We've already mentioned Tommy is going to be our second VP, and let's give Tommy one more round of applause. And Alicia Alexander from LC, please stand. She is one of our newest board members, our at-large members. When I called Alicia and explained or said, congratulations, I could hear her jump through the phone. She was very excited. And then I proceeded to spell her name wrong when I sent out the email. I'm not going to throw anybody under the bus, but I asked someone in this room for their contact information, and it was spelled wrong on that contact information. So, look, she's looking at her phone right now. But congratulations, Alicia. We're really looking forward to working with you. And our other one is Romanda Noble Watson. Yeah. She brings a wealth of experience to our board that we're so excited about and looking forward to working with those. And I'm going to go back and hit on something Jay mentioned a few moments ago, the diversity in our NAIA side of the board now. Yes, that is so exciting. So congratulations to our new board. We're really excited about representing you going forward. Okay, one final thing, and I've got 7 minutes to do it. And if you can put that, let's see, something else? You look like you were, what? No, let's do the gift card real quick. If you put that up there. Okay, so many months ago, I sent out an email asking for you to volunteer for committees. And I was incredibly excited about everyone that put forth their name. We're not where we need to be yet, but we're definitely making a strong step forward. I volunteered after speaking, well, actually I did it before I talked to my wife, and then I told her, and she only slapped me a couple of times. I volunteered to purchase 4 $25 Amazon gift cards to give to anybody whose name was on a, well, we're going to draw out 4 names for those 4 gift cards. And I said I was going to do it during one of our NAIA SIDA board meetings, and it never happened because we were working on other things. So I realized that I screwed up, and so we're going to do that now. How many names are up there, Donnie?
I think we got 29.
29, okay. So I've got a little randomizer. Thank you. So just to be on the, this is what we're going to do. I'm going to hit spin or go, and whatever number pops up, we're going to get down this list, and we're going to give a $25 gift card to that person. I hope the list is accurate. That's my assumption. Uh-oh, we got to know. What are we missing?
Ed's name next to the oil. Ed's at Zula.
Yeah, that's right. But Ed's on the committee. I'm sorry about that. All right. Anybody, is there anybody's name not on the list? Committee members, do you see that? Okay, good deal. All right. Here we go. Oh, I will say this. Matt Hicks is on there about 12 times. Actually, he's on there twice, I think. Matt, if your name pops up, you only get 1 win. Okay, you don't get to win it twice. So I'm just letting you know. But your name's on there twice. All right, here we go. Randomized number 1. I got 14. 14.
Jeff Ross.
All right. Will you highlight him? You ready? Randomized number 2. 26.
Exactly.
Of course. Zach's never getting that gift card. All right, so I threw this together last minute. I'm sorry. You caught me. It was more important to me to get names up there instead of the right or the correct spelling. Obviously, I can't spell. We already said this. All right, here we go. 10. Jenny wins every time. And our last one is 3.
Chris Barrow.
All right, so this. All right, if you are here and you won, see me here in a few minutes and I'll give you your $25 Amazon card. If you're not here and you're watching this online, I'll reach out to you and we'll figure it out. Okay? All right, what do you think? On time.
Let's give it a shot.
All right. Publications, who's got the list?
Sammy.
Sammy. Come on up, Sammy. Guys, thanks so much for everything you do for our organization. We're going to keep getting better. And I did see somebody who was here earlier. I want you to stand up and say who you are, where you're from, and how many years you've been coming to COSIDA. Who wasn't here?
Kristen Jaber, an assistant at SIDA Cumberland. This is my first one.
All right. I know we got another one.
Probably didn't need a microphone, but I'm Alan Morgan. I'm in my 2nd year at University of Pikeville. I've been around Mid-South Conference. I was at Shawnee State and then with Cumberland, and now at like this is my first convention as well.
Go ahead.
Okay, I'm gonna try to do this really fast, and I'm sorry for my voice, but I could not, like, talk inside out. Okay, so the winners, I'm only gonna announce the winners, but the top 10 will be posted on the NAIA website. For game day programs, it was Sutton Jacobs and Chris Popovich from Cumberland. Game notes, Jeff Braun from Midland. Sport poster, Jeremy D. Smith, Carter Mold from Faulkner. Feature stories, and sorry if I say names wrong. Tim Heideck from Masters. Game recaps, Matthew Horrocks from William Jessup. Also Matthew Horrocks from William Jessup, a season preview review. Social media contest, the infographics, events, accolades, and breaking news was Michelle Merge from St. Thomas. Infographics game day was Indiana Wesleyan Sports Information Department. Motion graphics, video embedded photos, Bree Campbell, Katie Brooks, Matthew Lawrence from William Jessup. Motion graphics, GIFs or GIFs, Seth Ellis, Skylar Blanton, Kyle Peterson from Olivet Nazarene. Website was John Brown. Best splash page, Indiana Wesleyan Sports Info. Best wallpaper, Dave McCulley, Austin Childress, Clay Cotham, Aaron Self from Bethel. Publicity video, Seth Ellis, Skylar Blanton, Kyle Peterson from Olivet Nazarene. Feature video, Antonio De Jesus, St. Thomas. Season highlights, Indiana Wesleyan Sports Information Department. Game highlights, Indiana Wesleyan Sports Information Department. And call of the year was Brandon Hensley from Cumberland. And then the Spitler went to the Indiana Wesleyan University Sports Information Department. So congratulations.
Okay, a couple reminders as we break for lunch. You have to be a COSIDA. You have to register for COSIDA to be able to go to the luncheon that's upstairs here in a few moments. It is a rather lengthy luncheon. It's 2 hours long. We're back in this room at 2:30 with our national office update. Remember to take your stuff. And I just heard Sammy give out an award to Bethel University. I saw something from Dave McCulley, who's the SID at Bethel, on Facebook the other day, where Austin Childress, his assistant, was involved in a pretty serious car accident. He had to be flown to Nashville, so I just want to say our thoughts and prayers are with Bethel and for Austin. He's a good dude and does a really good job for Dave down at Bethel. We just wanted to make sure we point that out. Guys, enjoy your break. We'll see you back here about 2:30. Sorry.